screwed. Like, if we're being honest, they get really... It's not a good situation for them. Anyway, moving on. In this match, we will finally load into Bank, and it'll be Mantis starting on defense, thus the first ban, and it's going to be Habana.
All right. I feel like a lot of the Brazilian teams love to ban both Habana as well as Echo, but Habana being
Habana?
Habana.
I love it.
I'm thinking about Cuba, my Habana Nights. No. Liquid and a lot of Brazilian teams love banning Echo just across the board. Additionally, with the Habana ban coming out from Mantis, I mean, that's pretty sensible. You don't want to leave all 3 hard breachers available for Bank. You just don't.
Yeah, and Team Liquid themselves have never banned Habana in this season through the qualifier, so that is worth noting. That's something they just don't do. Mantis, on the other hand, it's their second most banned attacking operator. We see Montaigne taken out by Liquid, which is a common ban for Liquid. Echo as well being taken out, which is Liquid's most banned defensive operator. And yeah, I mean, so far that makes sense. Maestro is the last one. I mean, does that surprise anybody? No. No, it does not. So, pretty standard set of bans here, considering the map and considering the teams on this map. No Echo Maestro is pretty common, all things considered. With Mantis starting on defense, you could say they have a little bit of an advantage, though we've seen throughout this tournament that the attacker-defender advantage, no matter what map you're on, has been not that big of a factor, to be honest. And it's definitely worth talking about, but it hasn't been the dictator of outcomes so far, at least today. Basement, the first round here. And we'll see how they set themselves up. They've got 3 C4s, no gas canisters from the smokes, because there's no smoke being played. They are going to be bringing in Ella, which means they're relying on defending the stairs and server, trying to delay for as long as possible.
10 seconds left.
Yeah. All right, well, this will be really interesting to watch and see exactly how you're going to bait out all this plant denial.
Attackers have recovered
on
their
Liquid
diffuser.
side of things, I mean,
attackers must locate and defuse a bomb.
Envy Taylor's going to play the Ella strat on server stairs, but is he going to be helped by anything? That's the real question. Neska's wasting no time, just sprinting into the garage.
Wait a minute, what?
There goes the mirror window. Neska's, oh, he's right there. He's going to drone in. He realizes there's nobody in garage. Oh boy.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Is this going to work out?
He's just walking right in. There might be a mural window.
I hope there's something watching this. The mirror window's open.
This is a very common drone.
The Twitch drone got the mirror window.
Gohan opened it up earlier on, and that drone that's up there that we just saw from Nesk is a very common drone that Nesk has used a couple times. Bye-bye Sweet Black as Palu takes him out. Say goodbye to the Valkyrie playing on the top of the server stairs. And that's going to leave Nesk to possibly push on up over towards the mirror window. But it looks like he's getting spotted. There could be a Valkyrie camera positioned somewhere in there. Just given information to Nelio to be able to play that ejected mirror window and watch Nesk all the way down in the garage.
Still going for Liquid. They have so many advantages right now, but they're not using any of them. Waiting for the opportune moment. This is typical of Liquid. Nesk seems to have given his position away as he reloads. That must mean he has fired. And thus, the enemy must know he's pushing from here. The Shmat's going to confirm it, though. Oh, what a down. The shotgun from Ella. And Envy Taylor will clean that up with the pistol.
Is that a one-shot with the shotgun at that range, Michael?
But it's a 3-speed. I'm not terribly surprised.
She just came out of there like a bat out of hell. Just absolutely vaporized Nesk. I believe sent him into the stratosphere was what Robert Flynn said on the cast previously.
Yeah, he likes to say that. It's a good one.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
Into the atmosphere, into the stratosphere, etc. So after Envy Taylor got that kill, he's managed to get back into the site. The safety of lockers, of which none is reinforced, so this might be a tough proposition for him to play in. Seeing what little is left of that breaching torch and Sexy Cake to open things up, and well, you've already got that mirror ejected. You should know that. Should have been called at least earlier on by the Twitch. So just a nice cross-section to try and open as much up as possible and then send down a stun grenade, maybe to assist the rest of his team, as the Jackal track will give away the position of one defender down below. Not much utility to be had, but Envy Taylor just comes out of nowhere again and just gets a massive kill on Palu. Gohan takes out Henny, but it's a successful diffuser plant, and Nova not able to relay that information onward. Blood is UMP and take down Zig, and, well, Liquid's kind of lost the plot at this point. Gohan holding server stairs. This could potentially be a very difficult retake, as the other body of Liquid, which is Sexy Cake, sitting upstairs watching over the hatch. Sexy Cake will cut down Nelio. The Claymore is spotted. There's Envy Taylor looking for a third. He'll pick it up. He needs to grab that diffuser, but it's in a perfect position. A counter diffuse and a C4 gets tossed up, trying to do covering work, and Sexy Cake is missing. Sexy Cake, there's a second left.
Sexy!
No! Why Sexy Cake? You don't see it. Oh my. Might have been in the body of the Thermite, but from our perspective, not. And that's the first round going in favor of Mantis FPS.
I'm not mistaken, bodies are client side, so it's entirely possible it looked different there for him. I don't know, though. I mean, either way...
Are they on land, though? That's the real question.
I have, honestly, Parker, not a clue. That's something that we cannot confirm. So I suppose I should technically retract that statement. I just don't know. But
I don't know, Michael.
But that's a really unfortunate circumstance for Sexy, no matter how you look at it. There's no way that Mantis should have won that round. That was a pretty clear-cut win there for Liquid. They got the plant down at a great spot. Sexy was in the perfect position to deny a disable, but he messed up.
Located by attackers.
He just messed up, man. It happens. It happens quite a lot, more often than you would think. And no, we're gonna see a basement of the top floor, Parker.
Oh, is that how they?
Yep.
Is that how they maneuver it, Michael?
Yep.
Okay.
They're gonna basement the top floor, and they're reinforcing it right now, getting set up to. Okay, I can't do it anymore. They're gonna defend the top floor.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
Brought a castle. Castle's been very potent on this top floor, especially as it allows you to play many more angles than you would normally be able to. It's gonna be a very important thing for Liquid to try and counter going into this round. And Nest is actually pushing down into Garage, so there is something to be said about rushing Garage as a 3-speed, especially with a pistol. I run a little bit faster, right? But I don't know if this is going to work out so great for him. That was a huge assumption, and that's the most important thing. That's what I'm trying to get at here is if he had been punished, one person playing in Garage, one person playing on the main stairs, and Nest is dead. He accomplishes nothing in that round. But because he got away with it, now he has cut off a rotation. In fact, many rotations from the main stairs. This is potentially a very powerful position for Nesk to be playing in.
This is always something that's fascinated me about Liquid, is how effectively they're able to find these openings for a player of this caliber in Nest. They added somebody very similar in Gohan, but it's a different style of aggressiveness. Gohan does get the opening kill, immediately traded off, and Nesk, he's just in! Nesk pulls it out of nowhere, gets the call, and Zig, credited with helping his teammate. Nelio, despite the bobbing and weaving of Palu, will be able to equalize back to a 2v2 with Sweet Black and Nelio still upright. Half the round to go. A very quick pace, I would imagine we will see from both of these teams over the course of this entire match. Not just on Bank, but also the other two maps that we have to go to, providing we make it to a third map. Nelio is anchored down inside a janitor closet watching the main doorway, and Sweet Black looked also to be over on the conference side of things.
Still plenty of time for the remaining two Liquid attackers to make this round go their way. Exothermic charge is also available. Impact tricking? Ooh, what an angle if he can hit it. He goes for the longer one, but just barely misses it. A nice try from Emilio, but a little bit too behind. Doc's gonna be called out. He's behind the mirror window, though. He has the advantage despite being spotted. He can still use the mirror window to win the fight. Because the castle is inside of storage. There's a great crossfire here between the dock and the castle. And time is really running out for Liquid. They have to get one of these two defenders picked off. The extra...
I was going to say, I mean, they have so much utility, and it's a good read from Zig to take out Nelio. Sweet Black will try to recover. He's very far down, playing over inside a front desk, looking at multiple bodies coming in through one angle, and Zig drops. So goes the diffuser too, and Sweet Black will rotate on out. Just through a rotate hole and heads back on in as there are pings going down. Spray through the wall. Sexy Cake will get Zig back from the dead. The Sweet Black is just waiting. More pings. Get the combination, but you can't hit through the bomb chassis. No, Zig gets away with the plant going down, and you still see those red marks as they will persist. Sweet Black has time to stim pistol himself if need be, give himself an extra 40 HP. Trying to hold on with that MP5, which is slightly lower damage, Michael, but still close enough. Knowing that desk is somewhat penetrable, it's gonna be Sweet Black trying to take one of the bodies out. Hurting the ADS, but no, Sweet Black doesn't have the information, and it doesn't matter whether the utility is dumped in from Sexy Cake, as Liquid will make a very graceful recovery on the CEO and take the site with 2 members still alive and put us back to a 1v1 game.
Gotta be honest.
A 1-to-1 game.
Yes. Gotta be honest, guys. A little bit too much trepidation from Sweet Black there. And if he had just committed to a play, he very easily would have been able to bring that round back. He had what was necessary. He's playing the angles properly. He managed to get the down, whether he knew it or not, but he never fully committed. He was too behind the curve in terms of what was actually happening on the push in through CEO. And the real kicker, the ultimate insult to Sweet Black losing that round, the constant pings. Information from his teammates. He knew where both of the attackers were throughout the round, and he just couldn't make it happen.
In his defense, the ping that he was getting was perfect, and the angle he was holding was okay, but the bomb was in the way. That was it.
Actually, he had an angle where he could have shot the player.
I mean, he could have, but he doesn't necessarily.
It doesn't really matter. I wasn't talking about that situation in particular. I mean, there were many other circumstances where he could have made a play and instead decided to just play it safe. I mean, it doesn't really matter in the long run. The round's over, hindsight 2020, but yeah, Sweet Black was a little bit too cautious.
10 seconds to insertion.
In a 1 versus 2 or a 1 versus X situation, you need to make plays in order to equalize. You need to start bringing that man count back in your favor, no matter the circumstance. That's just kind of a universal rule of a clutch. And Sweet Black never committed to anything in particular. And that's what he's being critiqued for, from me, personally. And yeah, okay.
A bomb has been located.
He made a judgment call. It was wrong, but that's as it is. By reception, nobody. Nesk going to just spray in through the window, trying to break it, open up some angles for potentially his teammate. He could have actually just gotten a kill just now, but he doesn't know it.
What's CEO's... I was going to say, what's CEO's pick rate overall? As it's surged in terms of popularity, but it still trails Teller's Archives.
It's still one of the more played maps, though, right?
Well, I mean, it trounces open area in terms of play rate, but it would be interesting to have a regional cross-section of all the different sites. I feel like North America tends to play CEO an awful lot. A lot of that goes to credit towards Dark Zero and both Evil Geniuses when they come to this map. There's a number of different ways of playing it. We've seen previously somewhat of a ballsy strategy from G2 as well by reinforcing one of the panels just to the left of Sweet Black. This is the wall that leads into the main lobby, and then having, you know, Kanto play on Echo or something along those lines.
So CEO is tied for second as the most played site on this map. Lockers is the most played by far with 47 total rounds, and CEO 27, Tellers as well 27, but it also has the lowest win rate with 55% for the defenders.
Oh damn.
Yeah, so it's played a lot, it's lost a lot, but it's still a good site with a 55% win rate, just the lowest win rate on this map. That is, again, for the defenders. Anyway, CEO's second time here for Mantis. Hopefully for them, second time's a charm. The CEO walls are already opened up. It's good control for Liquid to have. Both of the exothermic charges going off, no impact tricking whatsoever. And they're going to be able to smoke and plant if they want to. Valkyrie cams still in play, mirror windows still in play, but the control is in. That's the most important thing for Liquid.
It's a bit strange here. You see the Jackal dump in these smokes to be able to cut everybody off, and a good read by Ness, but oh no, he gets out-dueled by Nova from behind. That's going to be Neilio down, look to be down from a team C4 as Palu is going to just watch and wait. manages to take out Nova. Sweet Black goes down, and Liquid are once again going to lock out CEO. And there you go. Every single member of Liquid getting in on the action there, it feels like, and Liquid will run away with that round. But Michael, I got cut off, so I wasn't able to say it before the slaughter started. We now have 3 rounds where Liquid has been able to pull off 3 perfect executes. 3 diffusers down. When you compare that to the match that I casted previously, in NIP Reciprocity, by my count, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There were 8 diffusers planted through that entire matchup. There's already been 3 so far, and we're only 3 rounds in. A lot of that was just that it was more of a pugilistic style between both NIP and Reciprocity. They took
bringing out the fisticuffs.
They went to fisticuffs.
Mm-hmm. I think, to be honest, this should be a 3-0 right now.
Okay.
We're going to take a step back.
Okay.
I do think that Sexy should have been able to shoot the player disabling the diffuser downstairs. That's the only reason that we have Mantis currently on the scoreboard. Because he didn't shoot it.
Right.
Didn't shoot that leg.
I would love to have known his perspective, because that's actually a question that we don't
have the answer to, you know.
At least not one that is readily available to us.
Did he see the leg or did he not see the leg? That is the question.
You know, laces out, etc.
Yeah. So, basement defense again for Mantis. Yes, they did win this, but no, it was not a decisive victory, and it is likely that Team Liquid are going to have a little bit more success this time around, considering what we've been seeing from Liquid and Mantis both in this match. It seems like Liquid are in control. We'll find out, though.
I mean, it's Bank. It's typically a fairly even matchup. I mean, we've noted and talked about it many, many times how the win rate has trended so far. And Bank's win rate as a defense has soared.
Yeah.
You know, it used to be and was statistically the most balanced map. Not really so much so, you know, anymore. But that's also because we're in a defender-sided meta. 55 to 45%. Need we remind you every time?
Bank has become, though, oddly enough, like you said, it used to be really balanced. It has become the most defender-sided map, period. And with a 60% win rate for the defense, that's pretty crazy. Or 61.5%, pardon me.
Repeating, of course.
Yeah. Nova's going to be using his shield here to great effect, slowing down the Thermite, and that's a little bit of damage done to Zig. That's nothing too terrible. It's just a nuisance, to be honest, overall. The basement being the defense, it's the most played site for sure, but it's also the second to worst.
Mantis FPS won this site last time, as you noted, when Sexy Cake was unable to kill the one person on the team of Mantis that was getting the diffuser. But Envy Taylor was using his utility a little differently. They had the Ella stacked up inside a garage to try and counter a rush with Nesk, should that happen. Yeah, it was a bit confusing. That's okay. He's
wasteful.
He's got it now.
So you can actually open up 2 drop-downs with Maverick, and we've seen multiple teams do it actually before. But if you miss as many as Sexy Cake has just missed, then you cannot open 2 drop-downs. Like you got to be really efficient with those blow torches, but not gonna happen here.
Wow.
Another shotgun kill.
Envy Taylor still playing on the stairs. He's gonna look for another. Just go right over the head of Palu, and Envy Taylor gets felled. Now this is something that was unable to happen on Liquid's side of things, which was kill Envy Taylor early on.
Yeah.
Envy Taylor on the Ella was playing over by the garage if Gishmat's available, and could also just simply wait for the push in from garage. As we mentioned, Nesk being able to sprint on in, but you got Envy moved up to the main stairs, or the main server stairs rather, not the main stairs themselves. It's gonna have the Clash be tagged in now, and Nova's gonna move to the forefront just to try to watch the drop, and Nesk is gonna confront the Clash, and it's gonna be a joint effort. No, Nesk feasts on 2. Not credited with the kill on a Nova, but there's Nelio going down, and amidst the smoke, he'll sprint on in, takes out Sweet Black, pulls out the pistol. There's only 1 body left as the diffuser gets planted a 4th time. 4 rounds for Liquid. Hetty snapping on the heads. Oh! It gets a beautiful double kill, and Sexy Cake and Palu are so low. Very winnable, but Hetty's position known, and he'll have to play against the ejected mirror window. Using the precision of it, that sight, and the small magazine size of the Vector, this could be a big challenge. Playing around the bars, trying to free himself from the prison in which he lays, but it's Palu to get the very final kill. 4 successful plants for Liquid, 3 of which net them the round. And we will go to the 5th round with Team Liquid in a commanding position so far.
Not only are Team Liquid in a commanding position right now, Parker, but on top of that, the way that they've been playing, it almost seems like they're not taking their enemy seriously. A lot of these strategies, a lot of the ways that they've been playing, they've just been throwing bodies at the enemy, winning fights, and that's something that Liquid are very good at doing. And I think it's a calculated move by Liquid. I retract my previous statement. They're taking Mantis seriously, but it's a calculated move in that I think they have sensed the weakness from Mantis, which is if we just rush in, if we just take the fights, we can outduel them. Liquid are certainly proving that to be the correct answer so far. Again, up 3-1, but again, a round count that should probably look more like 4-0 right this second. This is the last attacking round, if I'm not, or second to last attacking round, pardon me, for Liquid. So we're not quite to the end of this first half, but we're getting there. And right now, Liquid are looking very dominant. Again, on the most defender-sided map in this current meta. And if you end an attacking half with 3 wins, you've won that half on this map.
Yeah, I'd say that Liquid, no matter what, has put a pretty good argument in for winning this first half. I think you're right on that one.
Attackers recovered the bomb diffuser. Attackers objective.
This is something that happened yesterday in the matchup with G2 and Mantis. G2 tried playing really slow and methodical, lining up all their shots, you know, dotting their I's, crossing their T's. And that slowness was just
Attackers have located a bomb.
Insufficient against Mantis. Once G2 essentially, you know, disabled their ability to collect information before attacking, and instead just sprinting on in, G2 started to play a lot better. And look exactly what's been happening with Liquid. An extremely aggressive team. Doesn't necessarily, you know, do the best job on certain maps against certain teams of droning everything and being as precise as possible. Sometimes they tend to get a little overtly aggressive and they get burned because of it. But in this case, this calculated aggression that we're seeing out of Liquid is a little bit less calculated, a little bit more aggressive, and Nesk is like a prized racehorse at the gates, just waiting the shot from the gun to just start sprinting off, as you can see, almost a bit antsy as the rest of his team helps him. It's going to be a smoke execute from Palu as the Jackal will cut off entry, and we see Nesk just push on in. Through the smoke, waiting right in under the complete shroud, rather. Just continuously peeks around and around and around, and he has complete sight control. And Nesk could go for a plant. Oh, by Envy, by Heady, by Sweet Black. Liquid puts 3 on the board as now you got Nova looking the wrong way, and it's 4. Pretty hard to get a diffuser down when you're just killing everybody, but oh, Neilio pulls out a triple kill out of nowhere in thin air. But Zig will shut him down, not tasked with getting the plant off. What a recovery after Neilio almost gets every single one of them lined up in a row. 4 for Team Liquid, and the only reason why there's no plant is because they don't need to when half of the team is dead within 20 seconds of your execute taking place. 4-1 in favor of Team Liquid.
So the initial theory or thought process was that it's Liquid not taking Mantis seriously. That developed into, oh yeah, actually when G2 started doing exactly what Liquid's doing right now, then they started seeing success, just getting aggressive, taking fights, period. End of story. So basically, I'm guessing what's happened here is Liquid have reviewed the VOD of Mantis G2, and they've skipped over the failing to learn process and just went straight to the learning from others' mistake process, and it's allowing Liquid to put themselves so far ahead so early on. The real question now is when will Mantis correct this? When are they going to figure out how to solve this problem? Because if Liquid's just going to walk into the building and trounce all over you, I mean, that's going to be a problem, a persistent one, no matter where you go in terms of maps. It is not a counterable strategy or anything like that. It's more like a mindset.
Yeah.
And I think it's something that, again, Mantis needs to adapt, period. That's the end of the story. Until they do, they're going to keep losing rounds.
Attackers recovered the diffuser.
There might not be a course correction. There have been a number of teams that have failed to adapt.
Yeah, it's true.
And they've just fallen by the wayside. You know, I think that was a big story for Ninjas in Pajamas so far this weekend in the matches that we saw. They failed to adapt. G2's failure to adapt almost cost them a significant lead over Mantis FPS and the opportunity to put Mantis away. Here once again is Prize Racehorse and Stallion waiting to just shoot out of the gates the moment that you hear the sound of the starting gun.
Barricade breaking.
And there it goes. And Nesk is, instead of sprinting in, he's just going to crouch walk his way in. Once again, a rare non-plant for Team Liquid, who so far has 4 of 5 rounds with the diffuser down successfully. It's CEO again. So not only are we going to sites that only start with the letter C, Michael, but on the very final defense of Mantis FPS, they will have foregone 2 of the 4 sites on Bank. A bit strange given the fact that, well, Bank has 3 viable sites, I think a lot of people would say, and open area is not terrible, all things considered. Just waiting for Gohan here as you hear the UMP go out, but Gohan's going to survive on Repel, at least for the time being.
I personally believe that, no, sorry, I don't personally believe, but the stats prove that Mantis have been going to the statistically worst bomb sites on this map so far. The basement and CEO. But that's not terribly surprising. Most teams do the same thing. You would just expect at some point for them to adapt, to try and do something a little bit different, because what they've been trying has not been working. This is their last attempt at defending. So at this point, I mean, it's make it or break it. They don't have a choice. They're going to CEO, and I don't know how I feel about this decision, but Neilio's going to open up with a 2K. He will be shut down by Gohan. The frag fest continues here for both teams. Nesk on main stairs is going to try and assist his teammate with Sexy Cake, who has already pushed up the main lobby stairs. A huge blunder by Hetty, but Sweet Black with the refrag. Pistol out, he's looking for a fight, but he's going to find it, and it's not going to go his way. Nesk will frag him down, and Envy Taylor with the refrag himself, leaving just Gohan in 1 versus 2. On North Repel, he will see his enemy and land the shot. Nova goes down. Now it's just Envy Taylor. It's a constant back and forth. Envy doesn't seem to be aware of the location from Gohan, but it's a poorly calculated repel there into the wrong window, putting Gohan in a bad position. Melee hole allows for an easy spray onto Gohan, and he takes some damage. Unable to reciprocate said damage, and he's just trying to get the diffuser right now. So little time for the Twitch to make it work, but he sees the angle. Damage done in return. Taylor playing this well, just trying to waste the time. Gohan a little bit scared of the potential fight on those melee holes, but he goes for the wide peak, and he just loses it. Envy Taylor, an excellent fight there, and a victory for Mantis to end the first half.
This seemed to be a very winnable round for Liquid. No disrespect to Mantis in that regard, but it was one that Liquid just simply could have won in an absolute slugfest. But a lot of hesitation from Gohan there is what really ultimately ended up being his undoing. He's holding the diffuser. He could have walked right in behind the desk, tried to go for a plant, waited for the sound cue of where the Jaeger would come from and then pop up. I mean, you got the F2. Yeah, you're going up against the carbine that Jaeger uses. Yes, the carbine is one of the best guns on defense. Maybe one of the best guns in the game, but you got the F2, probably the indisputable best gun in the entire game in your hands, and you've got Gohan. I mean, maybe not indisputable. Arguable. I mean,
it's up there. It's top 3.
I'm going to say arguable, Michael.
Top 3.
Top 3.
Hands down.
Arguably one of the best. Do you want to argue?
Well, no. Inarguably one of the best, but
arguably the best.
Yes.
I don't know where I'd be without you.
Okay.
Probably not here.
Yeah, maybe not.
Probably somewhere else.
No, I think you'd be here.
I don't think so.
Yeah, no, at this point, yeah.
I don't want to be here without you.
Aw, me too.
Thanks, Michael.
Yeah.
4-2, a pretty good scoreline to find yourself on after going on attack on Bank. Switching spots, and Liquid will be on defense. They need 3 to be able to put this one away. What's the solution here for Mantis as they go to attack on Bank?
Well, I mean, that could be the solution. You just mentioned it, Parker. I mean, we've got a side switch now.
But the defense is usually better, Michael.
Yeah, the defense is usually better, Parker, but the problem on Mantis' side is not necessarily what side they're defending, or rather what side they are on, attack defense. The problem for Mantis is that they have not been allowed to set the tempo of these rounds. They have been getting just outpaced by Team Liquid because Team Liquid's on attack. And rushing is not a crazy thing. Finding openings, gaps in the defense, not a crazy thing. But now, it's Mantis' turn to set the tempo as the attackers. Now I say that, and the meta has been shifting away from that for a long time, but conventional wisdom has always been, well, not really conventional in Siege. There is no such thing as conventional wisdom in Siege. If we're being honest, it doesn't exist. I mean, the stats say one thing, and what makes sense says another, usually. But we are where we are now, and I think that Mantis might have something here since they get to attack now. And they don't have to worry about Team Liquid rushing into them. Or at least, hopefully for their sake, they don't.
I mean, Liquid still does tend to rush on defense.
It's true. That's
definitely
the problem with the logic.
It's definitely doable here for these teams. Sexy Cake as the smoke playing on server stairs is not that strange, all things considered, but that's once again, as we've noted with smoke previously, a ton of utility to gamble on that hole.
Yeah.
Especially when it doesn't appear to be helped by any mute jammers. There's no mute, no ADSs, there's no Jaeger. So Nova starts things off by taking out Gohan.
Wait a minute, why are we playing a bandit on the basement? Like, I get, okay, maybe the C4, but
BC4?
Jaeger could be very useful there, and Nesk's going to take down Envy Taylor. In fact, there's drop downs opened up to rotate into basement. The roam from Liquid is crazy odd, and it's, well, 1-to-1 right now, but in terms of time, a true success on the roam.
Yeah. So a big kill for Nesk to be able to take out Envy Taylor and then drop, but keep in mind those hatches are open already. Because that was Liquid's entire plan, was to be able to assess control, or assess the situation and keep control of the main floor, especially open area. You're not really a lot of time for Mantis to be able to pull off this execute. I think a little confused and...
What?
I don't even know...
Wait, was that a breaching charge kill onto... Did he kill himself with the breaching charge?
Yeah, that's, great.
I was not looking at the screen, but I heard the laughter.
That was not great.
And then you paused.
I believe the Brazilian casters shouted "Opa" was what I heard in the background.
Nova is gonna get two as he enters into the site, and suddenly he's in an advantageous position. That's 3 for him total in the round. He's got all the kills for his team. He'll finally be shut down, but it's a refrag from Hetty. Sexy Cake also eliminates Hetty. It's back and forth, and Liquid somehow come out on top. You gotta imagine if they had one more player, possibly a Ying, that might have been a different result.
Yeah. It's going to be a tactical timeout from Mantis as they stare down a 5-2 deficit. I want to see what Neilio was doing.
Yeah, I
really want to see what he was doing to get that breaching charge kill, because he honestly didn't even look like he was in a position where there was anything breachable. Apparently, he was trying to breach one of the hatches with his charge.
It was the server hatch, yeah. And then he walked over the server hatch as he was detonating the breach charge, and he blew himself up.
Could have been.
I'm thinking that's what happened, because
yeah,
that's the only
reasonable explanation.
Where the location of his corpse, that's the only thing that makes sense. He must have been running from around electrical. You know, like from electrical, like the little couch that's next to the pillar. From that location. From that pillar exactly, over the drop down after placing the charge, and he detonated it too early, and he went flying.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta wait until you're clear of the breaching charge before you detonate it.
Hopefully Mantis will be able to figure this one out, because we are going to go to CEO for round number 8, Michael.
Okay.
Up to CEO yet again. No real surprise there, given that it's been Teller's archives that have been dropped from the, I guess, old reliable staple of teams.
I mean, Teller's archives also is statistically the best site on this map, hands down, like by a large margin. CEO and Teller's get played about the same amount. CEO has a 55% win rate, and Teller's Archives has a 74% win rate. It is also just the best site, period. I mean, the next closest is Kitchen Open Area, but I think that doesn't really count because it only has like 8 plays. So that, you know, that one is out of the equation. But yeah, Teller's Archives technically best site on this map. Neither of these teams want to play it, but that does not dispute the facts. Anyway. CEO defense, Liquid, after managing to hold out in the basement, but it was pretty close.
It was, and it was all Nova, really.
It was all
Nova got the first kill, and then dropped in, got the 2-piece. Came close to getting more before he got shut down by a push. Then Sexy Cake had all the marks from the Valkyrie. Neska's probably, I'm assuming Neska's, yeah, I was going to say, you're going to throw a cam out.
Yeah, he's got the camera outside, but not going to go for a run out. Probably the right call.
I mean, Not with the MPX.
You can do it with the MPX. What are you talking about?
You love the MPX, Michael.
I think it's a good gun. I also think that Latin American teams think that it's one of the best because, I mean, again, if you look at some of the top fraggers in Latin America, their main defensive operator is Valkyrie.
Yeah.
These are the fraggers in Latin America. Did I say? No, I said Latin America. Yeah, we're good.
I said Latin America.
Okay. For a second there, I thought I said North America.
It's been a long day for everybody, Michael. Don't worry.
Yeah.
I think we can excuse your slight missteps and my slight missteps and everybody's, and Stokes's and Flynn's and Blue's and even Milos. You shut up now.
Some people can. Anyway.
Hopefully nice people.
Defender exposed.
NV Taylor can't get
No
in the
way.
building. Oh, no.
No.
One's going to play Ninja Turtles. He's going to get down in the process, though.
They have a Doc. He could maybe make it. There's no one in a position to get him right now. If the Doc rushes for it, but he's not going to. Paula's just waiting. Okay.
Paula, yeah.
No one's going for it. Goan's dead.
He's just going to sit and wait. He's going to bleed out. He's not even, I don't even think he's holding it down. I have no idea, but.
He can rest easy knowing he wasted time and took out an IQ.
Yeah. Nobody's going to be able to get him back unless they push right now. Nelio is just waiting to see.
It's bait.
Use him as bait. There you go. Perfect. Had he credited with the kill on that Perez, he was the one who gunned down the Jaeger as he dropped him. And now, time for utility. Hetty gets picked off. Looks like Sexy Cake might have been able to successfully impact trick one of those exothermic charges. There's Sweet Black on the Ash. Takes out Nesk. It's an Ash main killing an Ash. Or an Ash killing an Ash main. Always a nice thing to see.
A bomb has been located.
Now, Liquid in a good position, all things considered. They only have to worry about one CEO wall, thanks to the impact tricking from Sexy Cake. Also got a man count nice and even. Because of that, defense will be slightly favored as we hit the last minute. There's plenty of utility, though, for Mantis, and I think these Candelas are all that's necessary to push this Mantis' way.
Sweet Black on a rotate, probably going to head up towards the main stairs as both Nelio as well as Nova are currently cut off by the smoke as the toxic canister goes down just to stop Nelio from being able to push on in. Sweet Black's going to have to hurry. He's only got 30 seconds to work with here. And match point awaits Liquid if Liquid wins this round. Right next to the mirror window, you'll see explosion of the breaching charge. The Ying comes on in and bye-bye to Zig. That's absolutely damaging. Nova's there as well. And Nelio's now trying to lock things out, but Nova, a huge round and has woken up. It's been absolutely integral to the success so far of Mantis staving off match point, at least for the time being. 5-3 scoreline still in favor of Team Liquid.
Great job there to Mantis. The way that that round played out was a little bit wonky. The run out initially. Really surprised that he got punished for that. To be honest, he barely did, and he almost made it out scot-free. Following that, Nelio went for the bait on him. Nobody from Liquid tried to pick up that Jaeger. Definitely the right call. Overall, the defense from Liquid was a little too aggressive. You saw Zig, for some reason, try to push out a meeting hall into storage. I really do not know what he was thinking there. He gave himself away, and following that, his other teammates got picked off one by Nova. We didn't actually see the engagement, so it's hard to judge them. But yeah, that push from Zig, truly ill-advised. Not a great result there as well for Liquid, obviously. Now, looks like we're going to be going, what was that, CEO again? Once more onto the breach, dear friends. Screams Team Liquid.
Why not?
Yep.
What is the downside of going back to CEO, especially when you said it's tied with Teller's Archives, but in terms of pick rate?
Dub it Saint CEO Day.
Do you have the ability to just make such proclamations?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I mean, you can try.
Henry V is a good movie.
By the way, we have an update for you, so spoilers ahead. Keep your, take your headphones out, etc.
Yep.
Attackers must locate.
We have a third team making it to the main stage. G2 Esports defeating Mocket by a score of 2-0.
Hey!
Congratulations, G2. Enjoy your next 2 days off. We will see you on Friday.
You gotta imagine G2 versus Mocket. That's just about one of the best matchups that G2 could hope for, as they are ridiculously prepared to play against Mocket. I mean, yeah, I think G2 is really happy with that result, getting to go against that team, and now happy with the result of the actual match. So, good for them. Congratulations. Unfortunate for Mocket, though, of course.
Well, I mean, Mocket's still alive.
They still have a chance.
Mocket will be playing the winner of this match, the one team that does not get sent home.
So yeah.
It'll either be Liquid or it'll be Mantis.
That'll be a good match no matter the case. We'll find out when we actually get there.
Attackers have located
Very, very slow take here from Mantis. They're just trying their best to figure out the situation. Maybe wary of C4s is why this is going so slowly?
Well, I think they're just wary of C4s, but also, I mean, you're going to impact trick it, right?
Yeah, of course you can impact trick it, but they're just the way that they're taking.
I believe Sexy Cake was successful on the left panel, but not the right panel, if I remember.
You're correct. Oh, well, no. Sexy Cake impacted yeah, if you're in CEO, the north panel. He impacted the north panel.
Directions are very tough here, but it looks like we'll be able to get one off, and they'll just try and fight for the other. Oh! Go on, takes Sweet Blacks out with the sweep of the legs, eliminating them. It's a good pick to start things off. Sweet Black on the Ash, but Nova has just been such a potent fragger, and he will continue onwards, finding and eliminating Sexy Cake. Drone as the ultimate frag might be forced off repel just due to a bit of a blunder by missing the drone, and will now go back on up. Well, it takes about 10 to 20 seconds off of the clock.
The words right on my mouth. The Fragmite, playing as the support player, but also contributing in terms of kills.
Yes.
That's something really to be pointed out on the side of Nova. Got to pick up the slack somewhere, though, and anyone on Mantis is capable of it. Liquid stacking up by Reception and Banana. We've also got one player inside of that meeting hall, Zig, using the mirror window. Now, last time, Mirror walked out of that location. Oh no, it's a miss Candela. That could be huge. That's going to blind his teammates. The smoke's also working against them. Gohan able to rotate into the main hallway. Paula eliminates Hetty. Zig with a C4 will deny the plan. It's just Envy Taylor against the world. He's taken out one, but he's got to get 3 more, and it's not gonna happen. Team Liquid with an absolute stomp following the execution from Mantis, and we will go to match point.
Really good hold, really good execution there from Team Liquid, who just, I think they understood what Mantis was trying to do better. You control the windows over by CEO, you control the windows over by that connector area leading out to the part that is referred to as Banana, and you just wait. And you wait, and you let Mantis have to commit some mistakes. The Pulse did all the work himself with Gohan getting the opening frag, tossing up that C4 to the skylight, stairwell, floor, the ceiling from his perspective. It'll now put match point in Liquid's favor. And hey, would you look at that? They lost CEO, so they'll go back downstairs to Lockers, CCTV, and Michael. 10 rounds. And we've only seen CCTV and CEO. That's it.
Yep. It's weird. It's weird, Parker. We've seen this before, though. It's not shocking, necessarily, but it is worth knowing that technically they are the worst sites in terms of win rate for the defenders on this map. However, I really don't count open area since it's only been played a few times. It's got like a 67% win rate, but like eight rounds total played. That doesn't count. Tellers is, though, yeah, pretty much the site here, and it's being ignored.
10 seconds to
I will say this, though. As much as stats matter, preference does as well. Some teams just do not like defending certain locations. Clearly, neither of these teams like defending Tellers. And hey, that's their prerogative.
Objective is to locate a bomb and use it.
So it's going to be a setup here on, looks like Tellers to start things off. Potentially Roamers, going to be pretty far afield on the side of Team Liquid.
How far is the field, Michael?
Liquid have been very aggressive with their roamers so far throughout this match, and it's not terribly surprising to see a continuance of that, as it's been working out well for them. The aggression in general for the defenders, definitely to their advantage.
I feel like you ignore my questions an awful lot, and I feel like I just deserve a general
I don't know what you're talking
response from somebody. I know you're not kidding, okay, I understand. So, possible final round, and there's a heavy roam presence upstairs already from Liquid. They have done the unpredictable on many occasions, and like I said, he can get quite aggressive, and Liquid can essentially counterattack when they're playing on defense. Halu is up top and has a rotate into Janitor if he needs. He sees one body, but he's not going to be able to get away in time. He's got 2 to try and gut him down, and well, he's going to have a tricky situation to get out of, but there's actually 3, as Nova is there as well. I don't know, that's an easy pinch for Mantis.
All the right peaks at all the wrong moments there from Paula, and because of that, taken out with relative ease. main lobby control in favor of the attackers. Envy Taylor also going to eliminate Nesk. Very long angle there from open area. And in the site, well, near the site is most of the attacking team. Zig doing his best to fight back, but he'll be shut down after getting just one kill. Sexy Cake inside of Vault also trying his best to delay the push. The diffuser's being planted though inside of B, and there's no one who can stop him. Sexy Cake going for a push into Red Hall, but it's all over. Envy Taylor, an excellent round. Mantis, what a rush. And you just don't usually see a Teller's drop take work on the basement. But here you go. The unusual. Mantis FPS, a nice take there.
That Mantis' first diffuser down as well that I see. So,
nice.
I mean, you got 4 down from Team Liquid. Now you look at 5 as well. So it's been an execute heavy type of strat. Given that CCTV or CEO is still locked, we go back down to lockers and CCTV for Liquid. And ultimately, Liquid was just, I don't know, they were too loose, I think, more than anything. Especially Palu upstairs. He had 0 help. He had no reinforcements. There's nobody to call, no cavalry to come and try to rescue him. And
it's always a difficult situation when that happens.
I mean, these disjointed roams that teams do, I don't necessarily understand their thought process.
I mean, it's sometimes worked out for Liquid. And I think maybe the thought process behind it is this. The line of logic is Liquid have been winning their fights quite a lot. It's why they're on 6-4 right now. And you could see the Mantis have started to wake up. They're winning their own fights now too. So the adjustment needs to be made by Liquid where they're supporting each other, going for the refrags, because I think that's been the really the true point to add to Team Liquid's, credit, is that they have been working well together.
Yeah.
But yeah, the disjointed roams, the solo stuff, it can work. Liquid does win their fights, but I don't know. I agree with you. I think it's a bad call.
To locate a bomb and defuse it.
Yeah,
They still have time to adjust.
And it's worth seeing what happens here, right? You're gonna have, well, this roam does one thing. It's gonna commit Mantis to have to clear that second floor more thoroughly, not just necessarily with drones. Bank's a huge map, right? We've talked about this. Jackal is not banned, and neither team were really running Jackal outside of the few couple times we saw Palu run it with the smokes and the PDW, but has not been used at all, not really utilized by Mantis. Most of, the best of their ability. They've instead been running the Ying instead with the Capitao on Heady, if need be, and a lot of static play on Mantis. Subbing out one 3-speed for another with Envy Taylor on the Maverick instead of the Ash. Gives you lots of fragging potential, but I think there's just a lot of utility that Mantis hasn't really had, and not really had the wherewithal to utilize properly.
Maybe. I don't know. Frag potential, yes, but that's not everything, of course. And I mean, in this match, it might just be. We've been seeing a lot of utility, yeah, but most of this match has come down to who's winning their gunfights. Saw some potential comeback rounds as well, just off of the sake of gunfights, winning one after another. Well, again, it's not over just yet. Liquid defending the basement. It's got to be a good spot for them. And the way that this setup is downstairs, it's kind of curious. I mean, we've got an unreinforced server drop down, which is not unusual. Just means it's unlikely that anyone from the defensive team will be playing in server. The drop down in small office has already been opened up, but it looks like it might have been the defenders to preemptively open it so that the roamers could fall back. We've seen this from Liquid before. Plenty of counterplant utility if it comes down to a default plant, but I would remind you guys that it hasn't yet come to a default plant, so that would be weird.
Yeah. Probably the slowest round that we've seen so far between them.
Certainly, yeah.
As well. Taking their sweet time, realizing that they need to line everything up before actually pulling off this execute. It's actually going to be quite beneficial towards Liquid. That's a huge firebolt, as it essentially forces the Mira out of a position to go for the post plant. Not seeing much post or plant going down though for the time being. Emilio's dropping in a ton of Candelas. Will now rotate over as Nova goes for the plant, looking to try to get one down. Eddie credited with a fire kill his nest. Takes out Nova, and there you go. Diffuser is down. Will need to be replanted, or grabbed rather, by Mantis. Nelio gets one, Envy gets another. Paulo is there. Heady picks off one.
10 seconds to go.
Nesk in a clutch or kick scenario, and it doesn't go anywhere. nowhere. Mantis regain their footing quite miraculously, and we will go to the final round of relegation. One of two things will happen. Either we have overtime ahead of us, or that's it, and Map 1 will go to Liquid. Speaking of, they'll take a tactical timeout, try to regroup, and figure out exactly what is going wrong for them now, as they started off so strong, but have dropped the last 2 rounds in a row.
Teller's Office Archives, following that disastrous defense in the basement from Team Liquid. This, by the way, will be the very first time we go to Teller's Office Archives. If we actually end up going there. They still have a chance to change it. Of course, it's in the middle of a tactical timeout, so it's just on pause. But it has been the preliminary site picked by Liquid, and if it gets locked in, it'll be quite interesting. They are likely setting up a full one-time strategy to lock this out. That is what would be normal on a match point situation. We've seen a couple other teams attempt this. It's the perfect time for a timeout, for being honest. But it might not be enough. The way that Mantis has been playing, they have woken up on the fragging front. Their strategies have been pretty sound. That was the first time we saw an attempted default plant on the basement bank. And the counterplay, using those Candelas in Red Hall, that was pretty wonderful. And it did deny a lot of those C4s. Following that, there was a lot of frag potential for Mantis. It did end up failing. The plant was denied by a C4 from Liquid, but the fragging potential from Liquid,
Defused by attackers.
just not enough in that round.
The big thing from Mantis' side have been both Heady and Nelio's contributions on attack. Yeah, Envy Taylor, as it shows on the scoreboard, has been the standout performer in terms of just pure killing potential. But I feel like it's been Heady and Nelio, or rather Heady and Nova, my apologies, shouldering so much of this weight on attack. I mentioned as he was the fragment. On Nova's side, well, Heady just had a banger of a round. And you've got 2 support players who are coming in clutch in the dying seconds after the execute has already taken off, just kind of hold things together. Liquid just need to play better as a team, because right now I'm not seeing an awful lot from them that leads me to believe they're playing off of one another. This is very singular play. I referenced the disjointed roam that we saw upstairs, and then of course on the main site as well. Zig got forced out, and there was no real significant plant denial. It took Neskap to go on up and get C4 down, but it took a little while longer, and there wasn't enough, I think, of recovery from Liquid there to be able to keep that round from going by the wayside, which is exactly what ended up happening.
Envy Taylor just trying to drone his way into square. He's control now of lower square. He'll be able to take out that default cam. He's doing this by himself, though. Talked about it, the solo plays being very dangerous. I think he's just trying to set up for a potential flank on a main lobby take primarily for the attackers, because all the attackers besides Envy Taylor are coming from the main lobby right now. And my guess is that, yeah, they're just trying to do a 2-pronged assault. Hammer and anvil, if you will. But we'll see. It's slow entry as well. Here's the thing. They've tried to be as stealthy as possible in pushing into that main lobby. Nesk is going to take out Envy Taylor, which means the flank for the attackers no longer available. And Paul is coming from behind himself, so here's the flank from the defenders. Nobody's watching for this, and it's going to be an easy 2-piece for Paula, 1 for Nesk. Sweet Black finally shuts down Paula, but it's too little too late. The bottom fragger for Mantis FPS will not be able to clutch it. Team Liquid will take the map and push us to map number 2.
Is that an M870 that was being used? Yes, it was. It was indeed an M870.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, indeed.
Liquid survives a scare and a half.
Mm-hmm.
And man, that was a lot closer than it needed to be for Liquid if you think about it. But now this is what? This is the 3rd map that we've seen at a Mantis, where they've actually been very competitive against a team that is near the top of their region. Liquid being one of the top Latin America teams, G2 being one of the top European teams, and Mantis